What's up? It's ADR back with ADR Sports TV, and I told you guys I was going to be consistent. Let's go. Hey, man, we got some things to talk about. We got Ruben Amorim being sacked. Ruben Scamorim, as I've seen on everywhere, him being called that. I want to go ahead and touch base on this. I'm sorry I should have released the video earlier, but your boy was in the office, so I didn't have time to this morning. And then I had some appointments and things like that. But you get in the video, so you might as well go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Man, come on. Help this video get to like 5 likes, man. Somebody hit the subscribe button. I know somebody new is watching this video. Come on, man. I'm telling you, I'm about to be consistent. But let's go. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about here. Ruben Amorim is out. And this is something I had mentioned like really briefly on my yesterday's video. You could just tell by his end of game comments that something was up. This man was tripping a little bit, talking about he wants more power, but if I'm not mistaken, he was signed as a head coach, right? All right, really, the biggest thing is I just feel like both sides are lying. The ownership of Manchester United's lying because last I heard, they wanted to give him 3 years. He was the guy for them. They felt like he could take them places. There was all this yada, yada, yada that all these people do nowadays is paper talk. They just talking. None of it's real, right? This man. And then on the same side, Ruben Amorim was also feeding them same things, saying, hey, look, I was just emotional about this press conference. I don't really feel this way. Not standing on business. Like, bro, you either feel this way or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, really, to be quite honest with you. So between him and Maresca, he was the person I expected to be sacked. Maresca was somebody who obviously I didn't expect to get sacked. He didn't really get sacked. It was like the mutual, whatchamacallit. I don't even think Maresca took the payout. Amorim did. Amorim's the one who said he wouldn't even take the payout. But you guys let me know, you Manchester United fans who are looking at this, let me know how you feel. Let me know if this is good for you, if you were the side. I know I saw KG Sports. Shout out to him. I think that he liked Ruben Amorim. So I think that was one of those things that he's probably a little bit sad. And then there were also some other people who wanted him out, right? I saw Flex, he wanted him out. He was going in on him from a while ago. I think Saeed TV, shout out to all these dudes, by the way. I think he was saying he wanted Amorim out when they lost the Europa League final to Tottenham, which I kind of respect it. Like, Tottenham hasn't won a trophy in 20-something years, and then you let them win their first trophy. I get it. I kind of understand that. But the biggest downfall for Amorim was stubborn. I mean, absolute stubbornness. And I don't know what's going on with these managers nowadays to where they think that this is the way to go. So many of these managers now aren't adaptable. It used to be a thing where you were adapting to the team that you had, right? You adapt to what you have in the beginning, and then as you get the players that you need, you start transitioning to the play style that you want, right? There are glimpses and things that you do within the trainings that start to transition to the team to get them ready for that. You don't completely lose that, but you have to be adaptable. I don't know what it is with these guys now. It's starting to become a trend. These clubs need to start putting in their contracts when they're signing these managers that if you get sacked, you're not getting these payouts, because it's just starting to turn into this trend. I feel as these Premier League managers, they get in these positions, they underperform, they come out, they speak against the board, then the board is obligated to then pay them the amount of money that's remaining on the agreement or the contract that they signed, and these guys aren't worthy enough, in my opinion, to be getting that. That doesn't make sense to me. If I lose my job anywhere, yes, I'll get some sort of severance, but they're not going to just pay me my yearly salary consistent on the basis that I wasn't doing my job to begin with. Now, I get it. It's sports. There are things that are different. I'm just surprised so many of these managers, or I mean these owners who are billionaires and who are supposedly very, very smart businessmen, don't start exercising certain clauses in here so these managers can't just take advantage of it. I feel like there's been so many managers, and I can't go through the list right now of managers who have been sacked and still get their compensation. Now, granted, probably there are some cases where the managers aren't getting the compensation, right? But I think that this is something that we need to look into, and I also think that we need to start giving more managers time. I think that now, obviously, for Ruben Amorim, I think that you get time when you're producing something. Last year he finished 15th. This year he's in 6th, 5th, I believe 5th or 6th, and he still didn't want to change. You know what I mean? So he changed for a couple games and then went backwards. It was kind of weird. I don't know. The man seemed very emotional. Let's be honest here. Like he was throwing tantrums in some press conferences, throwing some people under the bus, some press conferences, throwing himself under the bus on others, saying he's not doing good enough. But then in some of them, he's saying he doesn't have the players. It's the players' fault. It was just weird to me. That's too up and down. And it didn't seem like he was like this at Sporting. So I just don't know where the disconnect was. But this is where you and I as fans, we don't quite know what's going on behind the scenes between him and that Chelsea situation of what these board of directors are saying. I don't quite know if these board of directors, I don't know if they understand Premier League football like a lot of the fans want their owners to, right? Even Arsenal, right? We're ran by the Cronkies. Stan Kroenke could care less about us. I can tell you that right now. He was using Arsenal as assets to go ahead and take out loans for the LA Rams new stadium, right? But I think that's why he gave it to his son, Josh, who seems to actually be invested in Arsenal. You see him at the games. You saw him during the summer, during the signings. You see that side of it, right? And then you have, Nottingham Forest owner who is involved, but obviously made a stupid decision by sacking Nuno because him and him fell out. Do you see what I'm saying, though? So many disconnects with the owners of these clubs, the board of directors, or whoever's running these conglomerates that are then running these teams. It seems like there's so much disconnect on who they're hiring, what the process is that person that they're hiring is going to have to go through, who's making the signings, who's in charge of the signings, what is the process that we want to go down. Do we want to go for youth like the Chelsea system? Do we want to go for win now? I feel like a lot of teams that are in the top 6, top 8, so-called, like the ones that are the bigger teams that are spending, aren't having very good connections. And I think that's what really has always separated Manchester City and Liverpool from the rest of the Premier League is how their whole, from Liverpool, Mike Ashley, to Jurgen Klopp, to even Slot last year winning, it seemed like they all knew what they were doing. Now, obviously, Mike Ashley didn't really get Slot too many players when he first got in. But do you see what I'm saying? Everybody had a chain of understanding, right? Everybody knew their role. Their role was to do what they were supposed to do. It didn't seem like anybody was stepping on anybody else's toes. Same thing with Manchester City. You just heard Pep Guardiola the other day when they asked him about Maresca getting sacked. He said, "I'm very lucky to be at the club that I'm at. I'm very happy to be at the club that I'm at because I have the ability to win, lose, and they know where my mindset is. I have the ability to make the decisions on the pitch. They know, and I know where we both stand, right?" And that's what I think Arsenal's turning into. I think that Berta is going to end up being the signing of the season for Arsenal in that sense, where now I feel like everybody understands their role. Everybody understands this is a win now season, but you're seeing the disconnect from Manchester United's new owners. You're seeing the disconnect from Chelsea. Aston Villa's got a good connection, right? It seems like they're now on board with Emery and they understand what they're doing. Now, I think that some of Aston Villa's problems are, they can't spend as much as some of the other clubs, but the fact that they're in the position that they are with the amount of money that they haven't been able to spend and the players that they've done so well to recruit that you're not really seeing the fact that they didn't spend so much money in the summer right now. Now, granted, we're going through a loaded period of time, but you can see that the way that they're doing things is smart. Tottenham, all over the place, right? Brighton has a good system, but you get my point. You can see the teams that have a good foundation along with a good understanding of the chain of command, along with a good understanding of people's positions and what they're supposed to be doing. And it doesn't seem like Manchester United and Chelsea have that yet. Now, I know that, a lot of the Manchester United fans are excited and happy and saying, "Oh yeah, this is," but now we have to look at some other things, right? Who are we getting in? Is he going to fit what they want, right? It's all fine and dandy getting a great manager, but if that great manager doesn't do what the owners or the board of directors wants him to do, in these press conferences he's starting to speak out saying he's not getting the support he needs, he's just going to get sacked again too. You need everybody to be in alignment, and I just don't know if that's going to happen with some of these owners. But again, this is me looking at it from the outside perspective. You Chelsea fans and you Manchester United fans, you let me know what you think. This is just my opinion on some of the teams and how I feel like what's going on, the efficiency, how I think that things are going as far as the structures and what different teams are doing. But you guys let me know in the comment section down below what team you support, if you're happy about it, and we'll go from there. I've been ADR. Peace.